monitors on half the
The
time, so we
monitor's
have
not
no
on,
idea
so
if
we
we're
didn't
live.
know if we were
Okay.
live, but
Monday.
apparently we are. Happy Monday. It's going to be a good one. I can tell.
Charlie Brown in the football with
Peel
these
back
monitors.
the curtain before we get into it, because the monitor, which is where we can see if the show is on or not, is always pitch black, whether it's on or off. But there's a small light. When it's on, the light goes off, which
Yeah.
is confusing. When
Very
the light
confusing.
is on, the screen is off, and now you're up to speed. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. It's
Monday.
still off,
Still off.
but we assume that we're here.
It's warming up, brother.
and greeting you on this wonderful Monday morning. We're a little bit late.
Hey, there we are.
There we are.
There we
Oh
are.
boy, just
Look how
kicking things
handsome and
off
dumb we
so well.
Well-oiled
already this
machine.
week.
But you know what? We have a good show for you today. I guarantee it, because we're a little bit late, because actual news just dropped, which is so exciting, because most of the time I'm looking for penguin facts. Don't worry. Penguin facts are coming, not today, but another day this week. I'll let you find out when. Okay, so Dan came in. We had the show ready to go, and Dan came in and say, hey, did you hear about this?
I like
Hear
to just
about
come in
this?
and blow things
guys,
up at the last minute.
Disney's gonna buy Fox.
Are they really?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hang on. So here's what's being reported. Fox is reportedly in talks to sell to Disney. This is a huge deal. If this does go through, this is via CNBC. That they are in talks to sell most of the company to Walt Disney Company. Now, what they would not sell are the things that they cannot sell because of things like antitrust laws. So they can't have another. So Disney owns ABC. They can't have another network. So they wouldn't buy that. They wouldn't buy the local affiliate stations because they can't have two of those in a local market. They wouldn't buy Fox Sports or Fox News. But almost everything else is up for grabs. So that means this is the big one: the studio, the movie studio itself, TV production.
It's too bad. I'd love the Disney version of Fox News. Immigrants are coming to take you away to Guantanamo. Gosh, I hope Donald Trump builds that wall. Here's 3 minutes of catheter commercials and heart pills because you're an angry grandpa. Proceed.
Heartbreakingly, we will not get that.
Nope.
But, and I know this is the thing, there's all kinds of properties. FX is on the table here. I don't know if you guys watch Sunny. This is my daily pitch for Sunny. But the big thing, and we know you're waiting for this, is X-Men. That's right. X-Men and Fantastic Four would go back to Marvel Studios, which is also Disney owned.
You assume.
You assume.
I mean,
You would assume.
they would be dumb not to.
Why would they buy the studio, not have that thing?
Exactly.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
probably maybe why they're buying the studio.
Yeah, and this is there's no price tag attached to this. We don't know what it would cost. Guesses?
$1 million.
Very good guess.
I'm gonna say it would cost 1.5 Civil Wars, a Thor, and a Star Wars story. Not episode.
So I like
That's
the
what I'm
fact
gonna
that studios are now just trading cards.
Exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this has to be upwards of like $2-3 billion. Do we get into the
Yeah,
5,
3,
6,
4, 5, I think.
Yeah,
5,
I think
6
they paid
range?
5 or 6
Yeah.
for Lucasfilm.
for Lucasfilm alone. So
yeah.
imagine what they're going to be paying for the entire studio.
Yeah. If this goes through.
this
We're
goes
not saying
through.
this happens, but this would be. I mean, apart from the X-Men, like this is a massive story just in Hollywood. Like
Yeah.
the number of studios has been dwindling. Now you would be going from. It's like when these huge airlines merge. It's like now there's one less studio.
Technically, there's only, I think it's 3 or 4 airlines really, because they've all been
All been absorbed.
Yeah, I guess
Absorbed.
just like the aeronautics. What's that industry called? Airplanes. Just like
Aeronautics.
airplanes, there's the big 3 or 4, and then there's like the human catapult, like Spirit Airlines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That like, and just like in movies, like you're either making a movie on your cell phone or it's a $100 million movie.
Yeah.
We've scooped out the middle of pretty much every industry.
I also really like Tangerine.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this is massive, not only because of the implications creatively, which we will talk about, and what might happen. Will Dark Phoenix now be put on hold? Is the entire X-Men universe being completely rethought in Kevin
Get ready
Feige's
for 12
mind palace?
Deadpools.
Hulk vs. Wolverine. Hulk vs. Wolverine.
Hulk vs. Wolverine. 12 Deadpools. Yeah.
But it's very. I just did a Dan because I picked that up from you.
Oh,
I said because.
Because?
What is
Do
it?
I say because?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, you say it very well. Actually, it's enunciated very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because.
But But is this a little bit frightening in terms of
Yes.
how consolidated things? Talk, Joe.
Yes. I mean, the creative implication to me is awful as well. Zach Stentz tweeted right before we went on, I agree with it. He was like, this shrinks the number of companies writers can get hired by and stuff like that. If, it kills that pool of work and that flow of creativity a lot. If you're already tired of the Marvel stamp, in terms of here's our factory of movies, and the same way Pixar does it. I mean, get ready for any property Fox owned to sort of feel the exact same way.
So do you think that we wouldn't get something like a Logan if this goes through?
I think it'd be harder.
I think it'd be harder.
Disney has a brand, and
Yeah. I think
Logan's not that brand.
I think movies like Logan came out of a studio that is just desperate for something to land. And that's where art comes from a lot of the time, is when your back's against the wall. So no, I don't think you would get Logans. If this had happened prior, I don't think you'd get a Deadpool.
Well, look, I'm anti-monopoly, the game and the arrangement in life.
We've gotten a lot of support for your feelings about the game.
Thank
People
you.
also hate
You've
the
made
game.
the right choice. But the thing about this is like that kind of is a point in the other direction. Is like these are all Marvel comics. Fantastic Four, X-Men, they all have these stories where they've crossed over with the MCU, and it's always been kind of awkward that these people who we've seen have all these relationships over decades and decades of comic stories can't interact in these movies. So there's something to be said for like, oh yeah, now like you wouldn't have to do Days of Future Past in like this weird way where you're retconning other people to play other people's roles, and like you can pull from more classic comic stories.
Sure, in terms of the comic side, but this is a whole deal. I'm talking about the larger implications.
I think we'd get a great Fantastic Four movie out of this, and I think we would get a very weird, I'm not sure what it would feel like Hollywood out of this, because I mean, here's the thing, the movies that go through Disney are good movies generally. Generally, they're good movies, and the Star Warses, the Marvels, the live action reboots, but they all go through the same filter. They're all going through one prism, going through the Disney prism, and to me,
They're
it's
all getting Iger-fied.
Yeah, and they all kind of, I think they all look the same. A lot of them, and they all kind of feel like they're going through the filter to get out. And I just like the more movies you put through that filter, the more they're going to start feeling like they're the same kind of movie. And they are. I mean, like, I enjoyed, like, Rogue One was a good movie. Like, I enjoyed it, but, like, was it, like, a top 10 of the year? And I feel like that's what I feel like about, like, every Star Wars movie. And it's going to be every Marvel movie now. It's like, I enjoy them, but I don't think they're, like, the best movies of the year or anything. And I feel like that's kind of what they're going for, is like, we're going for a general goodness, but we're not going to go too far in a few directions, because that way lies risk and danger. And I get it, but also, if you're playing it fairly safe, then you're not really risking a lot either. And I don't know if we would get Logan or Deadpool or any of these things, because those were risky. Those were risks.
But is Fox
born out of Fox not knowing what the hell they were doing?
Is Fox reading the tea leaves though and being like, well, this could be a bubble about to burst? Deadpool was like for me, kind of the canary in the coal mine, that you could make a gigantic movie that was just making fun of superhero movies, and people got the jokes because they understood that these were tropes that had been beaten into us for a while. And Thor Ragnarok is kind of furthering that.
Yeah, big
Yeah,
time.
It's like when it's becoming so self-reflexive and like meta, like to me, it won't be too long before people lose interest.
I understand why we're focusing on comic books, because hi, you, we love you, and that is the largest piece, a large piece of this financially. But I'm also thinking about things like FX has some of the greatest shows on television right now, and they are not cookie cutter at all. And I don't want Fargo and Legion to go through. I love Disney movies. I think that they serve a great purpose. I love the programming. Please don't be mad at us for the Disney re-education camp joke that I made on Friday. However, I don't want Fargo to go through that filter, and I don't want Sunny to go through that filter, which is a show that just keeps going forever because why not? They can, I feel like the larger implications are a little bit scary.
Well, yeah, and to play the other side, like, we're not saying that they definitely will. We're not,
Yeah.
it could be that Disney buys Fox.
Oh,
and
no,
they
we're
say,
saying they're
You're doing,
monsters.
you're saying like FX, you're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. We're not going to interfere. That's entirely possible. That may very well be what they do. But I think it's the overall thing of this trend of just when you consolidate everything. One, you're no longer competing with each other, which means that you can just
Not good
kind
for
of-
the consumer.
Not because I think that's a lot of innovation is born out of competition and one-upping the other guy. They did this, we're going to do something different because they did this. Whereas if there's no one doing something different, then you're all doing the same thing.
It's why you're paying $5 for a blanket on a plane.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because they can. Because they can. Because the competition isn't there, right? That's why planes are outrageous in terms of what they charge you to breathe. Go ahead.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's more of that. We're not going to say that Disney is going to do this or that, but it's the implication. It's the concept of the fact that entertainment is just becoming this homogenous blob of thing. And it's you want competition. You want people out there that are saying like, you're doing a certain kind of thing here. That's great, but these guys are saying that they want to do my thing. And when you take the more of these guys that disappear, then I think a lot of opportunities disappear. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you're arguing against." Like, I'm sure that if Disney buys X-Men and Fantastic Four, they'll make good movies.
I agree.
I'm sure they will, but it's more of just the idea of you take away the opportunity for difference. I mean, how many Breaking Bad was turned down by Vince Gilligan is like, well, we went to every network in town and everyone turned it down, but AMC said yes. If you start taking away those every other networks or every other studios in towns that are saying no to things to find the network that says yes or the studio that says yes, then I think you start missing out on things because you only have, instead of asking 15 people, you're asking 6 people. And
Yeah.
if all those 6 say no, well, then guess what? Your thing's not going to get made.
Yeah. And I would rather see them buy back the rights to all of the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and just have all of the comic characters back, and I think they would make good movies, I hope that we would still get something like a Logan and they would take risks here and there, than have this entire sale go through, which makes me very nervous. Spencer,
What?
say things.
Oh, I've said my piece.
Very well. Good talk!
Yeah.
See what happens.
I just, all of a sudden, it was just like Dan and I were like monologuing and Spencer and Joe were going, yeah.
good. Yeah, cool,
Because you
man.
two are the ones that know things. Spencer and I are here to be smug.
You know what else is smug? Gandalf the Grey. That guy thinks he knows everything.
I hope this isn't attached to a news story. You're just complaining.
You're just saying things.
You just hate Gandalf. Yeah.
I don't have a script, so I don't know where we're going
I've
next.
got a
So.
bone to pick with Gandalf.
It was a segue.
Was it?
Yeah.
We'll see where you're segueing
It was a
to.
segue.
Yeah.
Okay, Lord of the Rings. I actually love Gandalf, to be clear, but I needed a good segue.
He is smug and not entirely helpful.
These are all good arguments. And you know what you could see more of? Him being smug and not entirely helpful,
God,
potentially
no.
on television. Because the J.R.R. Tolkien estate is in talks with Amazon, Netflix, and formerly HBO to develop a series based on the Lord of the Rings. They are asking for upwards of $200 million.
Wait, who's asking for that? The
The
Tolkien estate?
Tolkien estate
Oh.
to sell the rights.
They've
Now,
changed their tune.
have
Yep.
they?
Well, yeah.
Well, it's called cash money.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tune is called dollars and cents. Yeah. In any event, they're actually working with Warner Brothers Television on this, which is interesting because there was a big lawsuit that just ended in July that dragged on for 2012 around how they were using the characters in things like video games,
Slot
and slot
machines.
machines. Yeah. So apparently they're happy to get back in bed together. But not only would it cost potentially $200 to $250 million for just the rights, a fantasy series like that could cost like $100 million, which is why HBO passed.
They've got theirs.
They have
They've got their. This is
They're
from
good.
Deadline, and Deadline says that HBO passed, as many industry experts are calling the finances in the arrangement, quote, insane. But Amazon has become the front runner. And the deal, it's in early nascent stages, but Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon.
Bezos.
He's wanted them to move away from niche programming, what he calls niche programming, like transparent to like broad international appeal programming. Do you want more Lord of the Rings?
No.
Well, sorry, I was just thinking, like, can he just make sure my DVD racks are delivered on time? Like, that's what I think you should be a little more worried about.
Yeah. I want my dish soap and my toilet paper 2 days from when I order it at my doorstep.
Or no
Why are
deal.
you
I want a
giving
drone
my-
to fly my toilet paper into my bathroom.
and load it.
Can he ask why they keep giving my stuff to third-party couriers that can't figure out where my leasing office is in the building? Like that's what I want to ask Jeff Bezos, not about that's a whole separate beef that I have with Amazon.
It's time to squash the beef.
It's time to squash the beef.
Well, it's interesting. This could be a
Well,
thing
now he
like
can find an eagle to take it to Mordor, and
Yeah, exactly. This is like they could buy a series like this with the change they find at the in Whole Foods bathrooms or whatever. So this could be something that just like they do to put them on the map, to be like, yeah, this isn't going to make us money, but it's going to announce like, hey, Amazon is here among the HBOs and the Netflixes of the world.
Fun fact. Amazon consistently loses money. And actually they became profitable via their cloud service. Yeah. So they're sort of a long game operation too.
What would a TV show be?
I don't know.
Are they
There's
doing the
already really
Silmarillion?
great
Is it
movies.
Hobbit centric?
here's the only
Lord of the
TV
Rings.
show I will
Okay.
accept is one that's just done full on in the spirit of Rankin and Bass, the old cartoons with terrible folk songs.
Heavy on Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, just ridiculous hippie inane garbage. Like that is the Lord of the Rings I want to see. Just a ton of like the greatest adventure. Like that is a Lord of the Rings series that I would watch.
Hey there, Sauron, get out of here.
Or we do someone breaks into Paul McCartney's house and finds his old notebook full of ideas for when the Beatles wanted to make a Lord of the Rings.
yeah.
And you make the Beatles Lord of the Rings.
Or you
Yeah.
just talk to Paul. See if you
No,
wanna-
I think it would be much more fun to
better.
break into his
Okay,
house.
we just break
Yeah,
into the
break to
house.
his home.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with Lord of the Rings.
I'm good too. I'm all set.
3 great movies, extended editions.
Good books.
Yay.
Yeah.
3 really good books.
I've read those.
Hobbit's a good book.
Yeah.
Hobbit movies. Some stuff in there.
There's some things.
Yeah, I'm not
There's 2 great new
There's a
video
lot
games
of
that make
huge
no
Lord of the Rings
sense.
fan, and I'm not really jonesing for anymore.
Yeah.
I'm good.
There's at least 27 endings in The Hobbit.
So many endings.
There's so much there already.
Do you guys play the video games where you're like
God, they make
Middle
no
Earth
sense.
Batman and just like, I'll suck your soul out with my blade hand?
I played the first one, Shadows of Mordor. My favorite ones were the, as I'm going to date myself, the Lord of the Rings movie tie-in games that came out for PlayStation 2.
Oh, I forgot about
the
those.
original voice cast. They were some of the best movie tie-in games, video games ever made. No one ever talks about them. They were fantastic. Anyway.
I'll date myself. The best one is the Die Hard trilogy video game
Yes.
for PlayStation 1.
Yes,
Oh, with
he's
the
right.
light gun, and then the other one where you're just like punching thugs in Nakatomi
You had
Plaza.
the third
for-
party Eye of God one. You had the first person shooter.
Yeah.
The third one was a driving game.
Yes,
that
through
had a
New York.
Samuel L. Jackson sound alike
Yeah.
in the cab with you, saying like, "Are you trying to hit those people?" But it was a terrible sound alike. I agree. That's also one of the best.
Would you rather see a Die Hard series or a Lord of the Rings series?
Why are you doing this to me so early in the morning? Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, mine would be Die Hard, but if it has no John McClane in it, it's just people stuck in
People
crappy
and-
situations and they die very hardly.
Yeah, Al Powell.
Al Powell.
Al Powell.
So they
Yeah,
always
Die Hard
die, or
series.
like
They're hard to
every so
kill.
often one of them dies so
Yeah.
that you don't know.
Yeah.
It's an anthology series.
Exactly.
And maybe they die hard, or maybe they're dying other people's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
I would take a Die Hard Final Destination crossover, which, if you think about it, Final Destination could also be called Die Hard. I would want a supernatural Die Hard Friday the 13th
Okay.
the series type.
How about like a Die Hard Lord of the Rings crossover? Then we get
So
everything.
then McClane is
McClane's stuck in Middle
stuck
Earth.
in Middle Earth.
I'm just a cop. Come out to Mordor. And he walks barefoot. He's like a hobbit.
Little people.
So like he's in Bilbo's kitchen, like getting served food with like Balin, and then like some more dwarves show up, and he's like, "Hey, welcome to the party, pal."
Well, I
that was
was
a
gonna think
long
if-
way to go for that.
Yeah, the more dwarves, musical dwarves show up, and he starts to sing one of his Bruno and the what's the band called? Bruno and the Heartbreakers.
Something like that.
What's Bruce Willis's band called?
have no
I think
idea.
it's the
Something of Bruno.
Return to Bruno was the album. I don't remember what the band name
All right,
was.
comment with the name
Yeah,
of Bruce
name of
Willis's
Bruce
band for
Willis's
us.
band.
Shire Hard.
I am the mouth of sorrow.
Shire hard. You know what else is going to Shire hard? 50 Shades.
Oh.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Wasn't
JT,
good.
you can give me a down vote on thank you.
nice.
Ooh, instead,
Well.
poster art. So the final 50 Shades Freedest has come out today, and I want you people to watch it.
I heard we might be doing this.
Oh, there's a trailer?
Oh yeah, there's a trailer, Dan. This movie comes out
Great.
just in time for Valentine's Day once again.
Thank God.
So what are our rules? We have to talk over the trailer constantly, or else we get pinged by legal.
I thought it was the other way. We can't talk over the trailer because people want to watch it.
Both things
Go
are
watch it
true.
somewhere. Why are
Things
you
are
watching
true.
it here? Why are you watching it?
Watch
Don't
the
watch
trailer
it
elsewhere
here. Go
and
watch
then
it
watch us
elsewhere,
watch it.
and then come watch us watch it.
The internet defined. All right, here we go.
Some buildings.
Seattle.
Fraser's apartment.
Yep. The sleep touching is a consistent theme for the first one.
Stop doing that. My wife would hit me in the face if I did that every morning.
Wake up.
Don't ask me.
Mrs. Gray.
Also, morning
Look out
breath
your window.
is never accounted for
No,
in
look.
movies or
I'm
television.
taking you away for the
The job
weekend.
she's not qualified
I just
for.
can't believe this
His
is
jet
my
got
life,
bigger.
that I get to live with you.
Oh, he's got new vehicles. Now he's got a wave runner.
He was excited to see her.
It's like a Batman movie. His vehicles get bigger every.
Yep.
It meant
To the
nothing.
Christian
Is
copter.
he just licking her? Is he licking her? Does she have pantyhose on?
Oh man.
Hannah Gray's office.
Yeah,
We
the
wanted to
Riddler?
welcome the new fiction matter.
This is the job that he got her.
Yeah.
I bought it for us. I should have asked you first.
Sploosh.
Love it. Oh my god.
I love this weird house in the woods that you put
Always
in.
ask
This is
before
Jimmy
you get a
Taylor,
woman
the
a house.
architect.
This location is perfect. I'm going to build you a fabulous house.
You're in the house.
Please stop speaking to my husband as if I weren't here.
Anna.
You may call me Mrs. Gray.
There we go. Get to that dungeon.
I'll pick you up at
Wait,
5.
so the only
I might
thing I
not
can
be
tell
done
that's
by
happening in this
then.
movie is they're building a house.
He's buying her more things.
She's mad at that
We're
lady.
being followed.
It's John Hammond.
Oh, they're being followed.
He's Batman. Christian Grey is literally Batman at this point.
No, she's driving.
Oh, she was driving.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Batman.
What do you want?
Uh-oh.
Oh, thank God.
So you want to
Hands.
Are his pants on?
Finally. Someone put a dildo on somebody's head. It's been so tame this whole time.
I made a vow to love you faithfully.
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't know how it works.
Did you sleep with her?
Oh no.
Comfort you in
Oh,
times of
punching.
need.
Guns.
And to keep you safe. For as long as we both shall live.
I'm already sick of this trailer. I can't imagine what the movie's gonna be like.
Freed. Where are the porgs? Oh. Boo.
Great. Well, we did that.
That was money, sex. Those are all the things people like.
I don't know.
Sure.
We've been so beat down by this franchise by now. Like, what's
Are we
the?
just tired?
Yeah.
Well, I think
What's our safe word to like get out of 50 Shades of Grey?
Don't.
no money,
don't.
no ticket.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the things that they've escalated are like the gifts he gets her,
Yes.
and like the convolutedness of the like older women and men like trying to break them up. But the sex stuff has stayed so vanilla and
Yeah,
so
it's
just
so boring.
unsexy. They're
So
both dead behind the
boring.
eyes, just
Yeah.
going through the motions with their pants on.
Yeah,
it's.
this is the whole point.
I agree.
I think it makes me mad,
It's-
actually.
Yeah, it's it's you know, it's one of those. If I
It's
were
one of
to-
what? Oh yeah. Oh no, I get it.
That was everything below the equator inverting.
Inverting.
Stay tuned for later today when we will have the top 10 pitches for X-Men movies made by Marvel Studios. Just kidding.
That's like really happened.
But,
No.
we'll definitely be doing that sometime in the next couple of weeks if this deal goes through. Let's be
God.
honest.
It's,
Thanks for joining
It's a new
us.
day in internet movie news if this deal goes through. So much rampant speculation to be had. Oh my God.
Ooh, yeah.
It would be a boon for us if this deal goes
Yeah.
through. Because, I mean, I can think of 17
Hot takes.
hot takes.
At least 6 lists.
6 lists, some supercuts. Wow.
Duke versus Porgs. Oh, I can't wait.
Boy.
Do your first hot take right now, everybody.
On if it goes through.
Yeah.
Should the Dark Phoenix go cosmic with Guardians?
Nice.
Hot take 1.
Spencer.
Wolverine prequel? With Spider-Man?
Top 8 wokest Bob Iger cosplays at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh boy.
Question mark?
Dazzler Disney Princess crossover for the
that's good.
Disney Channel.
That's the
Yeah.
best hot
Oh, boy.
take.
And
That's the best.
she's in charge of our re-education, so we'll be back soon. Thank you for joining us today.
See you tomorrow.